everybody, this is Maya, and this is a first impressions video for a rare limited edition of the Pilot Custom 74 that I recently got from Japan. I needed a pen for the writers conference that I'm going to because my TWSBI unfortunately broke. I needed something that would hold a large volume of ink. The Pilot 74 uses the Con 70 converter, so it'll have almost a milliliter of ink, and I should be able to get through at least half of the day, at least through my morning lectures before I have to refill, probably all day. And I'm hoping that I can just refill in the evening. I'm really excited about this pen. It was very difficult to figure out if it was legitimate or not. I found it on eBay, and unfortunately, the converter that the seller showed in the box is not a Pilot converter. And so between that and the fact that it was a colorway I'd never seen, I wasn't sure if it was fraud or not. And I actually ended up going to Gourmet Pens and asking her if she knew anything about the pen. And luckily she emailed Pilot, and Pilot got back to her right away and let her know that this was something that was custom for one of their really good customers. And so it looks like this was probably custom for a specific store or organization. I couldn't exactly tell because the only websites I could find with the pen, with the exception of a review on Fountain Pen Network, was in Japanese, and the Japanese Google Translate wasn't great. And so I'm not sure if it was it said it was custom organization, custom association, but I don't know what that means. I have been waiting for this pen. I love this pen. I got it for a really good price. I got it for less than I would have gotten a regular custom 74 stateside, even with the shipping. And even though the shipping was, it said like $50 for regular shipping, which was like exorbitant, and I just assume sellers do that to make up the difference when they're underpricing their stuff. But even with that, it still ended up less than what I would have paid stateside for an equal pen. And surprisingly, the seller actually sent it EMS. It got here right away. I bought it on the 30th. It was already in Los Angeles by the 3rd. It sat in Los Angeles for a while because of the holiday. Everything was delayed. But I was really impressed with the seller's speed. And they do carry a lot of custom edition, special edition pens on the website. It looks like all that seller does is sell Japanese collectibles. So I'm really, really excited. I filmed the unboxing and the audio didn't sync. So let's get right into the first impressions. Wow. This is beautiful. This is my favorite pen, definitely. It is a custom 74, so you have your usual, wow, I'm just so shocked by how beautiful the pen is that like I've lost all my words. All my words. So the clip is the normal clip. It's I think it's probably plated with some sort of like, I don't know, is it real gold or fake gold? The nib is real gold. Yeah, it's plated with some sort of like fake gold. It says Pilot on it. It's got the ball. It's got made in Japan, custom 74 with the stars on that band. It's got a band down here. And then when you open it, the nib is beautiful. Look at that. Now, I have a thing for delicate nibs. I write with fine ink. I write with Japanese fine pens. When I write with American extra fine pens, to me, those are mediums. They're not even fine. You know, everyone says that a Japanese extra fine, that an American extra fine or Western extra fine is really like a Japanese fine. To me, they're mediums. I love a delicate nib. I write tiny, which is funny because I didn't think I wrote small until I started using fountain pens. But I like the maneuverability of a tiny nib. And then also as a woman, I find a really ornate tiny nib just to look so delicate and feminine. And let me see if maybe you can see the nib a little better that way. Like, that is just beautiful. And then you can see the purple. I'm in love with this pen. I'm so in love with this pen. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. I'm gonna fill it in just a minute, but let's take a look here. It also came with a case, which is nice because I was worried about how I was gonna carry my pens because honestly, I've never really invested in a nice case. I have this one case. I use it for my Namiki Falcon, but I haven't had a pen that was really fancy enough for me to keep it in a case all the time. Like, all my pens are dinged up because I didn't really care. This is a pen I cared about. So the case is really nice. When I looked at it, I thought maybe it would be like a floppy silk material, but it seems to be like the inside is satin and the outside is kind of rubberized or like a fake leather with like this kind of texture. And it's perfect. Oh, it is going to live in that case. The case is just as beautiful as the pen. So let's go ahead and fill this puppy up. So I am choosing to use Iroshizuki Yamabudo, and let me see if I can open this. I keep getting these super tight and then I can't open them again. Let me take a look at that other one. That other converter looks so weird to me. Yeah, it's not the right converter. I think whoever sold this just tossed in a converter, assuming that all pens had the same converter, or else they were taking pictures of multiple pins and accidentally stuck the wrong converter in the wrong box, because I got this on eBay from a seller that specifically sells only collectible things from Japan, and this is not the right converter for this pen. I'm gonna have to take a look at it. It kind of looks like, oh, it's a Parker. It's a Parker converter. Go figure. I think those are standard. I might be able to use that for another pen. Okay, so there's my converter. I'm gonna stick it in here. I really should rinse it first, but I'm too excited. So I'm not gonna fill it up all the way, because like I said, I really should rinse out my pen. I do just a little bit more. This is my first time using this kind of converter. I think I kind of like it. This is nice. Okay, I just filled it up a little bit just so I can do like a test. And that way I can clean it and flush it and do all that good pen mommy stuff that I'm supposed to be doing, right? Gotta be a good pen mommy. So, let me try a couple different papers. I'm going to try some Clairefontaine. I'm going to try Midori Md. And I'm going to try some Tomoe River. So here we go. So this is a... This feels so good. Oh my goodness, it feels perfect. It feels smooth. It has just enough feedback that it feels stable on the page. And it feels like a knife. It feels like a sword. Oh, I love this on the Clairefontaine paper. Going sideways, it actually almost feels like glass. Going up and down feels very smooth, and that's where I get the very slight feedback. Going up, very, very, very slight. And when I say feedback, I'm not talking about the kind of feedback where you're like, ooh, that pen's not smooth. I'm talking about the kind of feedback where you're like, this is where the pen is. This is where the paper is. and you're just gliding, and it feels so good. Okay, let me just try a little bit. Okay, I'm not doing flex writing on this. I'm just too nervous to screw up the pen. But it definitely has, like, it feels bouncy on the page. It feels just, oh, it feels good. Okay, so let's try a different paper. This is the Midori Md. Let me find a page that's not written. I don't want to use a page in the back because I'm actually using this for something. So let's put it on the back of the table of contents page. Well, let's just go to the back. Yeah, that's what I'll do. We're going to... This paper is not as smooth as the Clairefontaine paper. It's got a slight texture to it. I'm curious how this pen's going to feel on this. Okay, it feels, how would I describe this? Like, I can feel the paper, but it's not, it doesn't feel scratchy. It feels like it's textured. It feels almost like a relationship between the pen and the paper. And I can feel the texture, but not like a texture that isn't supposed to be there, but just the natural texture of the paper itself. I like it. It feels really good. Yeah, I like that. Let's pull out some Tomoe River paper. Let's find a page. Let's use this page. This should be a table of contents. Okay, I notice immediately that on this paper, my handwriting is naturally smaller with this pen. It feels very precise on this paper. It feels smooth, but not as smooth as the Clairefontaine paper. On the Clairefontaine paper, it was almost glassy, and so I found myself writing bigger. On here, this paper doesn't have as much texture as the Midori paper, but it's not as slick as the Clairefontaine paper, and so I definitely have a lot of control. And normally when I write this with outline paper, it's kind of all, even the first line, it's immediately downhill. My handwriting doesn't stay nice for long, but this has really good control on this paper. Like, I feel myself naturally writing faster and smaller on this paper, which is nice. That's gonna be good for note taking because I'm taking a couple notebooks to the writers conference, but the notebook that I plan on taking the majority of my notes in is a 7 C's writer, which is Tomoe River paper. So I think that'll work really good on that. See, there's some of my practice. And this is just cheap Fabriano paper. And let's just do the usual. Whoops. That's what happens when I write too fast. I forget to stop writing at the end of a word. You know, it's been a long time since I've had a pen that I felt like I could write really fast with. And it's almost like I'm out of practice. Like I'm writing and then like my cursive turns into just squiggles because I'm trying to keep up with my brain. This pen works really, really good for my hand. Like, it just seems to work. It fits in my hand perfectly. It writes smooth. It's small enough that I can get right in there with my teeny tiny letters when I'm writing really fast. And on the other hand, if I'm using something with big lines, it doesn't look like chicken scratch if I write a little bigger. So yeah, this is my new baby. This is my Pilot Custom Limited Edition 74 in Purple MA. Hope you enjoyed. Ciao.